Ladies and gentlemen, and all those gathered listening this story today, I am going to share my journey and the story of embracing my identity as one proud Filipino. This is a tale that speaks of resilience, determination, and the enduring human spirit. I am Aurora, born and raised in the Philippines. My story begins at the tender age of 7 when I looked around and saw many people, including my own family, struggling in the face of poverty. It was then that I took a deep breath and contemplated how I could help my parents. My father was a tireless worker, yet I seldom saw him growing up. He would leave at the crack of dawn while we were still sleeping, returning at 10 p.m. when we were already in slumber. With 11 children in the family, my mother tirelessly worked alongside him, selling fish and delivering it to households. She would prefer corn grits as cost-effective alternative to rice, and we wrapped our meals in banana leaves since we couldn't afford lunch boxes. There were days when our lunch was nothing but dreams. My elementary years were marked by challenges as we walked miles to school since there was no bus service in our area. While some children had the luxury of motorcycles or private cars, most of us relied on our own 2 feet. During recess, my classmates enjoyed snacks while I hid in shame, having nothing to eat. I couldn't help but envy those with eggs, sausages, and the aroma of jasmine rice in their lunchboxes. Yet, there were kind souls like my classmate Edna, who would share her lunch with me. In those early years, the school provided Nutriban during recess, initially free, but later charging 25 centavos per. I couldn't even afford 5 centavos, let alone 25 centavos. To survive, I would work on weekends, helping neighbors mop their floors, water gardens, or wash clothes and dishes in exchange for a small fee. I saved every penny, using it for my lunch or school supplies. When I completed elementary school, my parents broke the heartbreaking news that they couldn't afford to send me to high school. My dreams of becoming a nurse seems shattered. I spent a year out of school feeling the weight of my 13 years old shoulders. At 14, fate led me to work for my dad's boss, a kind-hearted woman named Gregoria, who adopted me and enrolled me in a prestigious private school, the University of the Visayas. She encouraged me to work hard, promising support for my nursing dreams. Sadly, at the end of 1989 in December, she passed away suddenly, taking my dreams with her. I wept for her, knowing I had to return to a life where food was scarce and my parents couldn't afford my education. I refused to give up and walked 3.6 kilometers each way to high school for the next 2 years, determined to complete my high school education. With my parents unable to fund my college education, I found work as a sales girl at Happy Mart in Juan Luna, Colon, Cebu City. After a year, I ventured to Singapore working as a cook for a family for 2 years. Every month, I sent my earnings back to my family in the Philippines, leaving nothing for myself. I made a mistake as when my contract ended, I had nothing to take home. Upon my return, I decided to stay in Cebu City near my siblings rather than moving back with my parents. 2 years later, I met a man who brought me to United States, only for me to discover I was in an abusive relationship. Thankfully, I escaped and started anew and running towards happiness and freedom. The police ultimately set me free. I found refuge with my wonderful cousin, aptly named Mercy. Her kindness and support were truly a gift from God. To fast forward, 3 years after escaping my abusive relationship, I met my current husband. Love knows no boundaries, and we are proof of that. Despite our differences in beliefs, cultures, and preferences, we've been together for nearly 19 years, united in our relationship. While during my early years with my husband Bob, I attempted to pursue my college education for 2 years, never giving up on my dream of becoming a nurse. Simultaneously, I worked diligently as a caregiver, progressing to a certified nursing assistant role. Later on, I embarked on a unique journey that led me through various careers, each with its own set of challenges and rewards. I spent nearly 13 years as a television broadcast technician, mastering the intricacies of the industry and honing my technical skills. From there, I transitioned into a role as a refinance loan specialist, working in the financial sector where I learned the complexities of managing loans and mortgages. My journey didn't stop there. I continued to evolve professionally, eventually becoming a certified pharmacy technician. The dream of becoming a nurse slowly seemed to fade away, but I didn't feel disappointment. Instead, I found contentment and happiness in my role as a pharmacy technician. Life often takes us down unexpected paths, and I am testament to the fact that while dreams may shift and evolve, finding fulfillment and joy in the present moment is a treasure in itself. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my story. I hope that it's enlightening your hearts and reminds you that a human spirit can endure, conquer adversity, and find love and happiness against all odds. Thank you for listening.